Yo, what it is? What's up? Can I just in touch? Yeah, remember that one? What's up, y'all? It's another episode of Zen AM. I'm your host,
Check, check.
Nehemiah. We got Daria and DTB Brooks. It's April 1st, y'all. It is Wednesday, the
Mm.
1st of April, about this month, man. April
Shit.
Fools, I guess. I don't know. Like,
No, we talked about that.
yeah, they ain't doing April.
We in a time and place that ain't no joking, ain't no play around with the play around. We
Or maybe
cannot,
even more than
huh?
Or maybe even more than, right?
What you
Like maybe
mean?
this is the time that the world needs jokes and needs to relax. Maybe this the time everybody's so wound up, so tight. Everybody's so I mean,
Man, who
you
joking
look
in
at
these days and time?
you said who joking?
Yeah.
We are, man. We ain't gonna let the hey, like everybody 30 what 42 and up say the devil is a lie. I mean, we're gonna have fun on this, man. Look, that's
Yeah,
another
we go
thing.
we gonna have fun.
We gonna do our thing, man. Look, we ain't letting nothing stop our parade, man.
No, that's a
They
fact.
all distractions. It's all distractions out there. You know
Yeah,
what
but
it is. They
I don't
distracting us, man.
I don't want to hear nobody on this day joking around, playing around. Like we got too much going on in the world. I ain't
You
saying not to have fun. Do what you do and be happy while you doing it. But this ain't the year to be playing around with the play around.
no April Fools this year. We canceling April Fools this year.
We gotta let it go, man.
All right, y'all heard it. There is no April Fools. And honestly, man, April Fools, people ain't been April Fools and kind of died down, man. Like people ain't really go because the internet got so many pranks happening that people are pranking each other every single day that
Yeah,
April Fools ain't what it used to be. And then people just started getting lame with it. Everyone's like, I'm pregnant. You know that saying, man. Ain't don't
yeah.
nobody like let's come with something new, man.
But
Let's come with something new.
now they got them AI pranks.
Oh man.
Where they'll take a picture of somebody and be like, "Hey, is this your car?" They're like, "Yeah, that's my car." It's like, man, somebody just crashed into it, and they generate a clip of the car getting crashed in, and they running outside.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, April Fools, man.
You
It
seen the
can
one where
really be
they
real.
yeah, you seen the one where they got the guys kissing?
Yeah, yeah,
When they show them the prank, like, hey, is this
yeah,
you?
yeah,
That dude just kissed you and they be mad.
yeah, yeah.
Did you see they started doing that to people in jail?
Nah,
Oh, I gotta find that
see,
link.
AI in jail will really somebody get bodied behind something like that. You don't
Yo,
play like that in jail.
these inmates was going wild.
For real?
It's because it's a guy it's a guy on the outside and he's like talking to them from the outside and they on the inside. So he's doing the AI
And sending it to him.
and sending it to him, and it's them in the cell kissing another.
That's crazy. That'll
And
get you killed.
you see their reaction. That's exactly how they
For
act.
real? Yeah,
Yeah, they
you
get
see, that's when you draw the line. AI should not be in no jails because you can really you doing 20 to life now. They looking at double life now.
they got you up in the
You
think
can't
about
play
that.
like that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch that
yeah, you
today.
gotta watch it. I gotta say it. It's funny because if anybody reacts to that, like you already know, people in the street they going some. A lot of times they be doing it to. It's not well-minded people like us
Mhm.
to where we look at it and be like, that ain't me.
Right, right.
You know, it's a
But
lot
in
of times it's
jail though,
people.
you
Well,
can't
not the
go
jail people. I'm
nowhere.
talking about in general. Like in
Uh-huh.
general, when you because it's I saw it. They've been doing this even outside of the people.
Right.
Outside of I see it, and I also seen them do it to the couples
Yep.
where a guy be with his wife, and then
Yeah.
he be like, "Is this you?" And
Yeah.
then it's him kissing another man on the video.
Yeah.
He's showing him right in front of the
They
wife. You
they
seen those
get
ones, right?
they getting kids now.
What
One
you
guy
mean?
was in Walmart. He took a picture of a little boy, and the little boy pushed him, and he showed the grandmother, and the grandmother said, "When I get home, it's your ass." And they had to be like, "No, I'm sorry, man. This is just
Yeah,
AI." And they bought him a toy. Like, see, people playing around get too serious.
they. It's gonna be. It's gonna be those jail people that react, but they can't get the person who's pranking them.
Right. Oh, they gonna find a way.
That's true. Walter White did. Remember bringing
Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, I know. This they got the couples do the one where they'll prank and be like, the maid is here, and they'll make it like a hot guy or a hot girl, and she'll have the guy with no shirt on sitting in the living room or cleaning something, and she'll send it to her husband.
Oh yeah. I seen those as well. There's a lot of pranks, everyday pranks. So it's like, hey, I guess I don't know if you want to prank somebody, y'all have at it today.
I love pranking people.
Yeah,
I
I
love
could see
pranks.
that.
I love pranks is my favorite thing, man. I've been pranking people forever.
What was the best prank that you did?
Oh man. Well, that's more of lying to a woman, so that don't count. That's more being deceptive.
Oh
That's more, I don't know if
man.
that count. I remember one time, me and Josh, we was way young, obviously, but we was at the mall. We told these girls we was Jamaican professional boxers, so we had to talk with Jamaican accents the whole time. Horrible. Horrible. I told you my shit will blend between Jamaican and Irish.
Hey, Irish.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh
I don't know
man.
what I'm doing. But prank wise, I like to prank a lot of the people from the challenge.
Uh-huh.
I do all types of calls because I
Yeah.
call. I switch that voice up real quick. I get him with the old man. Hello. Hit you with the old man. I hit you with all different types. But I pranked my acting homeboy. He been in movies and stuff. I pranked him like I was a casting director.
Uh-huh.
And I told him, hey, I got a role. And I knew who his favorite director was. So I was like, I got a role with you and Martin Scorsese. It's a light role. And I was talking to him, he's getting real excited. And then I'm like, but you know, there is a scene in there where you will have to engage with a male.
Oh man. You know. What was his response?
He got super. He was like, oh, I don't care. I don't care. And then I found out later, like when he got off the phone, he was all excited about it. His girl got mad. His girl got mad at him, so started a little argument between them. I got pranks for days. I called Wes. I pranked Wes. I knew Wes was trying out for Shark Tank, so I called him and act like a producer from Shark Tank.
Oh man, see you should have recorded that. That would have been Patreon worthy.
It was before Patreon.
Oh.
And then he came to my house in Hollywood one time. I pranked him. I texted him from another number. He was there filming, and he thought I was a PA texting him. I was texting him. I started getting real rude.
For real.
I'm sitting on the couch pranking. I'm the king of pranks, yo. I love if they need to do the Black Punk, then I want to host it.
That'd be fire. Shout out to Anthony. Anthony said, remember when I thought you was breaking us? And said, but it was really the police?
Because I played around all the time. I used to play on the phone and stuff. So one time we called and me and Josh got hemmed up. We was with these little girls hanging out. We got hemmed up. The cops got us. We thought quick and was like, look, they was like, we got to call you. We're going to take you to the house. So we was like, well, we just call her, you know, we call and then Anthony answer. And I thought quick. I'm like, Uncle Tony. Right? I thought quick like I'm like, Uncle Tony, man, they got boom, boom, boom. So I hand the phone over. And of course, he think that we plan a prank on him. So he starts cussing the police out.
For real?
Yeah, he think we playing with him. So he's like, we don't eat pork over here. We don't mess with the pigs, all this stuff. He on the phone with the police. and we over here. The police hung up. He's like, your uncle's pretty rude.
Damn. So that was a real thing.
I needed you then. Need you, man.
Dang.
So yeah, I love pranks, man. I pranked so many cast members. One time when we was quarantining in Argentina for All Stars 1. This was the first time that we were really filming with COVID, so we had really strict quarantine rules. We had to fly to Argentina and then be stuck in our hotel rooms. They take our phones and all that. So we stuck in our hotel rooms for 10 days before we actually move into the cast house. So we had 10 days of sitting in the hotel. We can't talk. We can't leave our room. Our I got lucky because my patio was next to John A. and Alton's, and I could see outside. But some people didn't get that. So there's nothing for us to do, but there's a hotel phone. So I had what did I have? I had something that they didn't take yet, and it was able to translate. So I started calling everybody's room with the Spanish translator on. I and then like for tech or something, I called him and I'm like, yo, I was like, mas chicas. And I was saying there's a whole bunch of white girls downstairs looking for him or something. It's like, mas chicas blancos aquí or something. I filmed that one.
You did?
I got that on tape.
Oh, man.
They was hanging up on me, though.
Well, those are good, man. You know, I think pranks are good because, like you saying, we still got to live a little. And with a lot that's going on in the world. So I think I take that back. I mean, pranks are acceptable.
We need that, man. That's why comedy is so good. That's the reason why we can't allow the comedians to get canceled.
That's true.
We can't. Comedy and laughter is the key to world peace, man. I'm telling you right now. Laughter, dancing, all of these things, they release so many different things in the brain, and laughter alone, I think like laughter is the universal language.
Yeah.
Besides money. Besides money, laughter,
dancing, those are universal languages.
Yeah. So I think that now more than ever, we need the arts. Like now more than ever.
I like that. We need the arts.
We need the arts, man. Like all of them. Sculpting, painting, poetry. Like when's the last time we heard some good poets that weren't slam poets?
Yeah.
You know? Like when's the last time we sat down and read like some good poetry? Like some Rumi or man, what's the dude? Khalil Gibran, right? Like when have we really got down and had some real art, some real music?
Yeah,
the music is easier to find, and also you can find a lot of artists on like Instagram and all of that, but for real, like social media is connecting us to the arts. But yeah, this is the time where arts need to shine, like more than ever, man.
I agree.
More than ever. We got some new people up in here.
Shout out. What's that? Pinocchio's Revenge.
Pinocchio needed to get his get back.
746. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Is that Quintana? It says, man, I can't believe that nightmare. It was longer than COVID was longer than 5 years ago.
6.
Yeah. COVID was longer than 5 years ago, almost 7 years.
Yeah.
So and I think that we got to get rid of this cancel culture, man.
You think so?
Of course. And in what other world, right? If we're looking at the highest and we're looking at the creator, we're looking at all these different entities from whoever you think the creator is. Where's cancel culture exists? We created that.
Right.
We created that. That's a human creation. And what it says is there's a certain level that doesn't have to do with murder or like really doing harm to people that we won't forgive you for. And forgiveness is one of the key elements to life. So we're saying, if you make this comment, we will never forgive you for it. Even if you ask for forgiveness, we won't forgive you for it. You are canceled in our art because we hold the power. You did one thing bad, you will never be. We got the community behind us too. So this is a collective thing. We all collectively agree to this.
Can you name me one person that was canceled that should be uncanceled?
That's a great question. Me? No.
Nah, you ain't canceled.
I was never canceled, man.
Yeah, you was
If
never
anybody
canceled.
should have been. Anybody who should don't. I don't know how he be doing that. I gotta figure out how to do that too.
With the quickness too.
This brother, how did you find that?
I got a hotkey. Boop. Gone.
How did you find that, man?
Log right off.
What the? Anybody that's been canceled that should not have been canceled. Oh, okay. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
What about that new NBA player that just got canceled?
Who?
We got a Bulls player that just got kicked off the Bulls. He just got canceled from the leagues. In news now for y'all. What's his name? Ivy something? The brother.
Oh, Jaden Ivey?
Yeah. So he made some comments. And I don't even think they were like, I didn't read the comments. So once again, I'm not standing up for anybody, but he made some comments about the LGBTQ community. And I think it was more on the line of religious type comments, not like, it wasn't like, you know, like the danger or like the stuff that you hear people say. It was like religious stuff that you hear religious people always talking about when it comes to, you know, like that types of community and stuff. So he was saying that stuff, and the Bulls released him, man.
He said a man to be with the man, how God did not make a girl to be with a girl. That's what he said.
That's all he said?
Yeah, that's all he said. But you know,
I thought he said stuff a couple of times. I thought that he I think that he may have, I don't know if it was just one time. I think that he may have said,
yeah, he was anti-Catholicism. I sent you the video. He talked about abortions. He talked about secular music. They call abortions good.
So all Christianity stuff.
Yeah, I would say that. Oh, yeah, they did. You know what? They did just cancel Chili for Trump support.
That's right. That's right. They got on Nick's head too about the Democratic statement that the Democratic Party. I didn't see his own statement, but you know they'll put the headlines and say the Democratic Party. Nick Cannon says that the Democratic Party is the KKK, right? That's the headline. But if we watch, I don't even gotta watch it. If I were to take an educated guess right now as to what Nick Cannon said, what Nick Cannon probably said was that the Republican Party started as the people trying to abolish slavery, and the Democratic Party were actually the KKK people.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to take a guess, that's what he said, because that's how the parties originally started. The Republican Party was the people trying to work and abolish slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So the roles got switched somewhere along the lines to where all of a sudden the Republicans were the racist one and the Democrats weren't. But originally, that was the basis of the party. Mm-hmm. But I need you to look that up for me, though. I need you to fact check that.
What's that?
The roots, like what the Democratic Party started, because I don't want people. This is the reason why I always say fact check stuff, because when I say stuff, I don't want people to say that it's coming from me.
You know, I do have to fact check you. You was 100 for 100 until yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Sunshine.
I'm not 100 for 100.
Nah, you are 100 for 100.
No, I'm not. I didn't miss a few of them.
Well, this one I was like, wow, I had to, because I was like, you're right.
Which one?
We talked about Jay-Z Sunshine record. You was like, isn't that Raphael Sadiq?
I was like, is it Raphael Sadiq?
Yeah. I played it. It was Babyface. But they sound so, I thought that they was like brothers.
Who's on the video?
Let's see.
Let's see that. Let's go to the comments. True, the party switch. See? What? Somebody was posting Chili's obituary? That's wrong, man. Yeah, it's like numerology says the lack of forgiveness hurts the person not forgiven. Absolutely. When we look at forgiveness and when we look at when we're holding a grudge against somebody or when we're angry at somebody, we think that it's hurting them, but really it's hurting us.
Right.
Us being angry or mad at somebody is literally like us holding a hot stone in our hand, expecting it to hurt the other person. The damage is all coming to us. We just don't see that. What you get pulled up?
There's nobody in the Jay-Z Sunshine video. But you said was the Democrats?
Yeah, the Democratic Party. Because I think, like I said, this goes back to that whole cancel culture and who sets the authority. What do you?
You're right. In 1860, the Southern Democrat Party was the primary political party advocating for the protection of expansion of slavery, endorsing a federal slave code for all U.S. territories following a party split. They nominated John C. Breckinridge on a pro-slavery platform, while the newly formed Constitution Union Party largely sought to ignore the issue to prevent war.
Yeah. So if I had to make a guess, I would say that's probably what Nick Cannon said.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I would agree on that. See, that's why we gotta learn you something. Not to you, but as you know, I said, let me learn you something. Nick is very educated. I feel like he studies and he knows that different type of elevated talk. So when he said that, I wouldn't take nothing by it because it's your own opinion and you have the right to follow who you want to follow. You shouldn't be canceled towards that. Chili shouldn't be canceled. Hold on, let me be careful because y'all might try to Russell me.
Chili was having sex.
Don't Russell me. So I'm gonna just be careful.
We can't get Russell though.
We can't.
I'll tell you why. The first thing Russell did was cancel all social media. That's the first thing he did.
Shout out to everybody at IG, by the way.
Yeah, that was the first thing he did. We're not canceling our social media if we say something that we stand by.
I know.
What?
That's a fact.
No, man. You better change the channel if you don't like what I'm saying. You better go ahead and change the channel. We doing 10 a.m. every morning. You better. So it doesn't seem like he was used to fame, and not necessarily fame, but used to hearing anything bad, right? Because when you're doing something so good for so long, a lot of times that backlash doesn't come, and when it does, you be like, "What is this?"
Right?
Because the backlash stands out more than the praise, and we're people like that. Where if we get 100 compliments on the comments, and then one person says one bad comment, that's the one that sticks out in our mind.
Right.
So he canceled himself.
He did.
He canceled yourself. You know who didn't cancel himself?
Who's that?
Shannon Sharpe. He was on the verge, and you know what he did? He kept doing the show. He kept showing up. He
low-key got canceled
by them, but not by himself.
Oh yeah, not by himself.
He didn't allow himself. His show was still on. He was still doing, in the middle of all of it, he was still interviewing people. He didn't hide away. He lost things. He got canceled, but he didn't delete any of his social media. He grew his beard out. Was like, I'm getting this bag.
I'm gonna tell you though, that's why you have to create your own, because when you play their game, they can cut you out any moment. So Shannon Sharpe, he was like, look, yeah, that ESPN bag is nice, but I got my own network I'm over here running. Shannon Sharpe at Night, the joint with him and Ocho Cinco. He really doing good for himself. But if he didn't have that, oh man, it'd be a tough summer for him.
Well, isn't that what Russell has though? Didn't he build his whole empire on having his own? That's literally what he built. He did it all on his own, except for recently when he just signed with Rock. But everything
that's what it was
on his own.
That's what it was. The moment you sign a major, everything is amplified. He could have did that Heaven Sent, and his core fans would have understood him because they know him.
Before if that would have happened before the Rock deal.
Yep.
it might not have been as bad.
It wouldn't have been bad at all.
Got you.
Because
That's true.
they know
That
your
might be
artist.
true. That might be true. That might be true. I think you on something. Will you debate anybody over that?
I would debate anybody over that.
I got a question for y'all too, man. Speaking of, I just want to know y'all take on this. I feel like, in a way, everybody is out here. We say we're being private, but I feel like a lot of us are just wearing these fear outfits dressed up as personalities. And a lot of us are afraid to tell people who we really are.
Mm-hmm.
And we have these different personalities for these different parts of our lives. And when I go to work, I'm the work version of me. When I'm with my girl, I'm the family version of me. When I'm with my guys or my girls, I'm with this version of myself. I feel like we got so many versions of ourselves, and some of them are so far from the truth that a lot of us don't even know like what the truth is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious, like, do we all still have that version of ourselves that we tap into that we just are afraid to show to the world? Like, we're afraid to show it to the world. We've gotten into a place with cancel culture, with everybody so sensitive. I feel like so many of us have kind of built these walls up and built these personalities up that would be suitable for society, that would be suitable for social media culture, for this. And we just started building up all these personalities that the one inside that we truly want to be is starting to get lost and hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know what y'all thoughts are on that, because I know a lot of people been battling that recently.
I think for me, I it's not a fear of showing a side of me to the world. It's more of like protecting, because we in such a judgmental stage and phase in this life that we currently in. It's like, if you really reveal yourself, it could hurt you in the long run. Meaning somebody may take that out of context or try to belittle you for you being who you want to be. So sometimes you got to protect your energy. And it's like the things that are most sacred to you, you got to protect it. Shout out to Drake. He said, I wasn't hiding the world from the kid. He said, I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid. And it's like, looking back at it, it's like, yo, you got to do that sometimes. Because it's like, everybody don't deserve the real you all the time. Because they'll exploit it, won't take it for granted, won't cherish it. So sometimes you gotta disguise yourself sometimes to be like, is these people really out here for me, or are they out here against me?
Right. That's that's kind of how I've always lived my life. Mm-hmm. I'm extremely private. Even doing reality TV. Ask anybody who in the house with me. Like, you don't know what's going on with me. You know I'm there. You know I'm I'm smiling. But I'm never opening up in a sense of what's really going on with me.
Right.
Because I feel like that's a war zone. I feel like I can't open up in there because any sign of weakness, they'll take. You can't tell them that you injured. If you hurt, you can't talk about it. If you're having a bad day, if you're sad, if you're missing home, all of these things can be weaponized against you when you're in that house.
I think we should normalize that, in the fact of if you do want to open up to someone, it doesn't get exploited or they use that against you. A recent situation happened to me, and I'm not upset about it, but it was like, dang. So somebody asked me, it was like, yeah, we haven't seen you around, blase, skip. And I'm like, yeah, just life is life and right now. And then another person came over, was like, hey, everything's good, what's up? So I was like, yeah, everything good, blase, this happened. And then we connected, but then like right after, I'm getting like 4 or 5 text messages. Hey, such and such told me this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, This was a conversation for me and you. Why are you going out exploring what I told you?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why it makes me like, all right, I'm just going to deal with this my own self. Like, I'm not going to express how I truly feel or my current situation, because some people use that against you. And I
Yeah.
really wasn't taking offense by it, but it's like, if we having a conversation, keep that between us.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. That is certain conversations not leaving the room, being able to confide
Yeah.
in people. Um, so when I hear you talk and I see people talk,
Hmm.
I'm the same way. Like I said, I'm one of the most private people. I won't even post on social media until weeks after what I've done.
Right.
So if you see me with a vacation picture, I'm already home
Yeah.
or somewhere else. You'll know where I'm at. I'm that private. I don't even take the same route home all the time.
Right.
That's how private I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to know my routine, none of that. But I've been doing so much more research and so much reading and trying to connect with the creator, trying to connect with God. And the reoccurring message that comes is stop dimming your light.
Hmm.
Stop dimming your light. These forms of protection that we feel like we're doing. Let's go back to the Drake. We feel like we are protecting ourselves from the world. But what I think is really happening is that we're making the world suffer from not getting the best version of ourselves. And let's look at Jesus, for instance. He didn't hold his stuff back. He didn't dim his light. It was like, this is what we doing. These are the consequences. Most
Right.
of the people that we look to in history did what they needed to do, regardless of the consequences around. And that's what made them stand out. Because everything in society told them to do the opposite.
Hmm.
And I think that that's where we're kind of coming to now. It's like we're so worried about being canceled that we can't even speak what's on our soul.
Hmm.
And that could be coming straight from the man upstairs. And we're afraid to speak it because of the people around, because of how they may take it. We're afraid to express art forms that we have. We're afraid to express projects that we have, not because of this, but because of all of this around us. And I think a big part of that comes from our influence of being worried about being canceled and not being able to express it. Look at the people who do talk freely. Those are the people that we respect. Are they not?
Like who?
Kanye, he
Yeah.
speaks freely. Cameron and Mace, they speaking freely.
Right.
We gravitate towards it because you're not gonna get no fluff. Cameron
Right.
gonna give it to you raw. We like that.
Right.
We don't like people voted for Trump because that's what they thought that they was getting with him. They thought they was getting a no fluff. We're tired of the fluff. I think everybody at our age, we just tired of the fluff. We want raw.
Hmm.
And we want raw, but we're not willing to give raw.
Hmm.
We want what we're not giving out in the world.
Right.
You can only receive what you give out. The world is a reflection. We talked about that.
Hmm.
So if half of your life is wearing a mask and being this person here, being this person there, how do you expect to meet people who are always genuinely themselves when this is your world? You're not even genuinely yourself.
Right. I think I like what you said and how you said it. I don't think, for me, I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't think I'm dimming my light. I think my light shines bright, but there may be objects in the way to bring the light down, like a shadow, or almost like a cloud when a cloud covers the sun just briefly. But also, one of my favorite scriptures is don't cast your pearls to the swine. So everybody is not meant to have your riches, because they wouldn't know how to receive it in the type way. Like, you can't give a kid caviar. You can't give a person that's been eating pork chops all the time a wagyu.
Right.
They wouldn't appreciate it. So it's like, you gotta know who you giving yourself to so that they can receive it in its entirety.
So, and that's a very good point, and that's what we find ourselves, right? But let's think on a bigger scale, right?
Mhm.
I think that that's more on an individual scale, right? Like you at pickleball, you at this person, you meet them, you don't really know, you're not going to open up about what you're going through
Mhm.
or this. I think that's one thing. The thing that I'm talking about more so is that version of ourselves that we want to be, that's inside of us, that we're afraid to release in the mask that we wear because of it,
Mhm.
right? So it's one thing to not cash, would you say, your pearls, right?
Right.
I think it's important for us to keep our cards close to our chest. I don't think that
Mhm.
everybody needs to know what we're doing. They don't need to know our moves. They don't need to know any of that.
Mhm.
But what they do need is that version of ourselves that's inside that most of us are afraid to bring out because of society, because of opinions, because they need that version of us. And that doesn't mean that we got to tell everyone our business or anything like that. But what it means is that we're not afraid to stand in our own truth.
Right.
And I think a
I
lot of us are.
I get what you're saying with that. I get what
You
you're
know what I
saying,
mean? And
but
it
I
doesn't
gotta
mean give your business. It does that's
no.
those are two different things. Those are two different. You do
Right.
not need to tell people your
But
business.
but even your likeness of a person, I feel like sometimes we gotta protect that. Everybody doesn't deserve the real you because they're exploited. Give you a perfect example, right? If you're a given person, or not even a given person, you love to talk, you love to check up on people, right? And you love to share ideas. And you have a group, or maybe one person that's just like everything you telling them, they being negative. You being yourself, you being open, you being kind, you motivating them, but they like, I don't want to hear that. Get out my way for all that. Eventually, that'll start to dimming your light based off of the cloud that they have. So it's like when you know that, you like, oh, I can't be around that person. That person is
Yeah.
negative. Cause then I'll become negative. So
Yeah.
I'm speaking in both of those ways. It's like, I agree. We need to walk in our light and who we are, but also keep that vision up, because there's people out here that's blood sucking energy straight up.
Yeah. The discernment.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think here we're talking about two different things here, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Because I agree 100% with that.
Mhm.
You got to be careful with the company you keep. You got to. Like, you show me your closest five friends, and I'll show you who you are,
Right.
is what they say. Um, they also say sometimes we talked about this. Look around, and sometimes your circle is a prison.
Hmm.
So you got to be extremely careful. So I agree with that. I'm thinking just more of that version of ourselves that we're trying to actualize inside that we don't, that we keep hidden. I'm talking more about that because of all of the experiences that we've had with those types of people.
Hmm.
Those types of people who were negative when we shared our dreams. Those types of people who we can't go around because you can kind of see if we share anything good, you can see they not super happy for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think those are two different things. But I'm on the same page with you on that. You got to be extremely careful. I'm also on that page of God sent us here, gave us a purpose, and a lot of us are losing that purpose because of the opinions around us.
Okay.
And we need to fall into that purpose, because when we do fall into that purpose, now we're able to be we're able to step into the power that was meant for us. But a lot of us don't step into that because of the fear, because of the comments, because of these personalities that we've developed. Because when we go to work, we don't know if they're going to accept us like this. Because when we go to our friends group, we don't know that they're going to accept us like this. So we formed all of these different personalities that we know will get accepted, that we've tried. The work people like this version, my family likes this version. These are the versions that I stick with. I've tried them and they work.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm talking about more. Um, but I think that we're all in a good direction. I think nowadays with technology, I think that we get to see so many people living their truths just on social media. It's
Hmm.
beautiful to see. Like I said, we get to see artists now who have pages that we would have never seen before. They do these amazing art pieces. You got these amazing singers, these people who are doing covers. You got these people who have these these great political views. And so I think that we're at it, we're at like a very high boiling point, and it's going to boil over, and it's going to be nothing but creativity, joy, so many things. We're just kind of going through that pressure point of evolution.
Let me ask you a question. And I understand what you're saying now, like walking in your purpose and being your true form and identity.
Hmm.
But do you feel because we've been on this earth over 25 years, we all over 25,
Yeah.
that we would have different characteristics in each pathway of life that will obtain a different I don't want to say ego, but a different mask that you would probably wear. So like you
Hmm.
said, you have a family side because
Right.
you have a family. You have a business side
Yeah.
because you have a business. You have a sports hanging out with the fellas or hanging out with your girl side because that created that it's like a plant. When you
Yeah.
plant something, it grows into your surroundings. So is that a bad thing? Because I also wonder, right? Like when I go out, and I don't like to use the word alter ego because sometimes it gets like a bad stigma to it. But I have a middle name, and it's
Hmm.
like, okay, I was given a middle name. What is that identity of myself? My middle name is Trayvon. So it's like I want to know who Trayvon is. I know who Darian is. I know who Brooks is. It's a full lifeline of my family with that name. What does my middle name represent? And am I walking in that purpose? Is that even a thing that we should be thinking about?
I don't think so.
Ooh, take me there.
I don't think so, because a lot of our names were given to us by our parents, and
Agree.
we see our parents didn't always know the right way.
Right.
So I think that names hold power, but once again, it goes into a whole new mask, right? Darian is a different person. Trayvon is a different person. Brooks is Mr. Brooks, whatever, right?
Right.
But I think that when we look at who God wants
Hmm.
us to be, because God created us before there was a name.
Right.
We didn't have those names when we chose to come down here.
Right. But you have it.
You have it now. You have it now.
Right.
So I think that there's different levels that we can connect to. We got the worldly, we got the earthly, we got the spiritual. There's a lot of different layers of us. The human body has so many different areas, between your aura, there's so much happening here. We
Right.
just can't see it. We see the physical body, and that. What I think is when we are tapping into the middle name version of us, because same with me, it's the same. I met my dad later in life. His name is Lee Joseph Clark. My name is Nehemiah Lee Joseph Clark. So then I
Mhm.
started kind of, who is this Lee version of me?
Right.
Like, I've never used that name. It was always Nehemiah J. Clark. I never used the Lee. So what is that? And then what I found was that I was able to kind of start building. It was me and my ego. Once again, we know ego are just the thoughts. It's either your higher self or your egoic. That's it.
Hmm.
Those are the only two thoughts. It was more the egoic self being like, oh, I get to build this person, right? I get to build who Lee is, this and this. Almost like if I was an artist. So I think that is a layer of being able to connect. But I think the highest layer of connection is going to the creator.
Hmm.
I think that's the highest level
Right.
of going, what is this side that I'm able to connect to? Because in my opinion, when you get to that level, it's the highest level. And then all of those other levels, they're cool, but they don't get you to that next level.
Hmm.
Learning who that version of yourself is, that's like the college, that's like playing college ball. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But when you go to that deeper level of the God version of you, that's when you go to the big leagues.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
they're both important, and they both are personalities, but one is just a bigger platform, bigger responsibilities, bigger reward, but they both play a role.
And I'm thank you for explaining that because you're 100% right. Names, multiple names, physical form, spiritual, aura are all layers. I'm
Yeah.
just peeling back. like a
Mhm.
fruit. You peeling
Yep.
back the layers. So now I'm understanding you saying, when are we gonna come down to that seed?
Mhm.
Peel off all of the
Yes.
skin, get off all of the excess fruit, and go down to that seed. And that's who we
Mhm.
really are.
Yep.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
See.
But that's the protection.
Yeah.
I believe that was what we was brought here for, protection, to relieve. Because I'm gonna tell you, some people don't know the thoughts of Nehemiah. Those are layers. Those are really layers. So like, to really walk in that, I think it's like the ultimate way of peace.
I think so too. It's
But it's so
liberation.
sacred though.
It's liberation.
Mhm.
It's liberation when you get to drop all those masks.
Right.
You get to drop all those layers. It's liberation, man. It's baggage.
Right.
It's baggage. It's hard holding all those personalities in.
Yeah.
It's hard. Sometimes you slip up.
Yeah, most
Sometimes,
definitely.
sometimes you say some stuff around your girl that you normally say with your boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
And
fact.
vice versa. Sometimes you say some stuff at work that you normally say with your girl,
That's a fact.
because we switch up. So you're absolutely right in that, peeling those layers. And that's the reason why it's called being born again,
Mhm.
because you got to die. Those versions of you got to die for you to get down to that seed, so you could be born again, just like a baby.
Right.
And it's
Right.
talked about so much in the Bible, be born again. And back then they couldn't understand the concept. They were sitting there like, what do you mean be born again? If I'm here, how do I go back into my mother's stomach?
Mhm.
They were thinking of it literally. Like, when
Right.
Jesus was saying it, they could not understand what he meant by that.
Mhm.
We're so lucky nowadays that we're able to take these esoteric and these highly deep spiritual ideas, be able to say them, and we don't, it's easy to make sense. But think back then, when they didn't have this technology and you're trying to explain the spirit to somebody,
Right. Right. Right.
you know what I'm saying? You gotta,
Right.
they're very, in their mind, you have to do some very, very deep explaining to them.
Mhm.
So we have to be born again. We have to be born again. We develop all of these layers, all these personalities, all of these layers, because it's like there's a light bulb, that's the seed, right? And then we start to develop all of these childhood traumas, all of these instances that we don't heal.
Mhm.
Each of those is a blanket that's being put over that light. And as we get older, that light gets way more consumed by all of these experiences and these blankets and these personalities and these traumas, all of that. They're covering the light. And until we start doing that deep work of prayer, of repenting, of meditation, of shadow work is what it's called. You talked about the shadow, but doing shadow work is something that is a huge deal, where we're starting to break that. As we start to do those things, each time we're pulling off a layer. We're
Mhm.
pulling off those layers that we placed, and eventually we get right back to that light bulb where the essence was. It
Mhm.
was just covered all this time.
Right.
So that's what it's like.
Take a sip, man. Go ahead, take a sip. And it's your day too.
Oh yeah.
Where the freaky side at, man? We wasn't supposed to go here today. We gotta switch it up.
I got a lot of sides. I got a lot of sides. I got them. And that's the beauty. I don't hide away from them.
Right.
I'm spiritual.
Right.
I love God. I love
Right.
Jesus. I'm a
Right.
freak. I like
Right.
freaky stuff.
Right.
I'm embracing all of them. I'm not allowing society to make me feel bad about one of them, because
Right.
it doesn't fit inside of one of their boxes.
Now I'm gonna tell you, you definitely embody everything that you saying. You don't hide or sugarcoat nothing. You definitely don't. You definitely don't. This was a beautiful conversation. I didn't think we was going here today, but you did speak it in advance. You said tomorrow is Darien Day, so I guess you just wanted that type of energy and vibe. But
Yeah, because it's like Wednesday is the day and Friday is the day where we get to talk about stuff that we're passionate about.
right,
So I'm passionate about a lot of stuff. And honestly, I ain't been freaky in a while.
right,
So therefore, I'm talking this free stuff. It's been a minute.
Right.
It's been a minute. So I've been in
That's
a
a fact.
different type of bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been on the AI, the building, the creating, the solitude bag. So that's a whole nother part of the personality. So it's like when we think our days, we get to talk. I almost was going to talk money today because I love
Right.
talking finances.
Right.
So our days, we get to talk about the stuff we love
I hear that.
without feeling that we have to stay. I'm not staying talking about cultural stuff just because the algorithm is rewarding it.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and have a cultural debate with you about a versus just because this is what TikTok is pushing.
Right.
No, on our days, we get to talk about anything we want. Don't care
We-
whether the algorithm pushes it or not.
Right. We never been on that type of time. We move at our
Mhm.
own drum.
You know, Tantric, remember that name?
Yeah.
You remember this is where I gave it to him. I
Yeah.
should have kept that for myself, man. I'm about to go back.
But
and
let me
keep,
ask
man.
let me ask you a question, right? We are these layers that's given to us are given from God, right?
No.
Ooh.
Mm-mm. Nah.
Where do
These
they
are
come
layers
from?
we develop. That's the
So free will.
That's
Free
why
will?
it's ego. That's why it's egoic layers
So is it free will?
that get these. Some of it, yeah. But like I said, childhood traumas, that's a layer. We don't know. That's something that we were put into. We don't know. You know what I mean? So some of it is it's not all just based on our own actions. It's a collection of everything that we experience.
Right.
So that doesn't get released. So for instance, if you got childhood trauma, you were abused as a child, you never healed that side, right? You're abused. Those things can cover up that light only because of the reaction to it. You stop loving, you stop this, you become closed off, you do this. So layers can be put on that are outside of our own control, just based off of even the natural defense mechanism as the human body.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Do you believe the life that we're living, it was already written
Yes.
and we
Yes,
just
and
plan it out?
I think, in my personal opinion, I think that we live in a world where there are multiple realities. I think that every type of reality that we can think of exists. So there's every version of you. There's every version. There's a drug addict version of you. There's a version of you that became the president. There's a version of you that's a mechanic. There's every single possible outcome exists in this reality. The way that we actualize that reality, though, is through our actions. So certain actions will guide us onto a certain path, and based off of that, that's the reality that we experience. That's where the free will comes in. The free will comes in our decision to navigate throughout these decisions and throughout these fork roads and stuff. We're going to exist in the path that's already written, but there's also a whole lot of other paths that are written for us too.
Mhm.
That's, in my mind, where the free will comes in.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we're the #1 show in the world. Mic drop. Clip that. I don't got nothing else to say. Nothing else. You explained that so perfectly. You explained that so perfectly. That was amazing.
Well,
And you right. All of those versions, you as a president exist. We just gotta walk into it.
yes.
If that's what you want to do.
Yes.
So if you in a situation that you feel like you don't want to be in, get out of it, abort, and
Yes.
walk into the path. Man, let me get up out of here.
Come on, man.
We don't
Hey,
need no
this
more
too much,
footage,
man.
yo. This is why we #1. Anybody, come on. Let's go.
We'll debate anybody. We'll debate anybody. Look, y'all, we want to give y'all raw. Okay, this is why we gave this. We talk mess, we got jokes, but I think that that's the beauty of it, is that humans, we have so many sides.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about layers. Let's just talk about sides. You can be funny. You can be spiritual. You can be serious. You can be freaky. You can be God-fearing. You can be all of these things. Don't let society tell you you can't. Don't let society tell you you can't. You could be all of these things and still at the root of it be a good person.
Mm.
And that's what we was talking about today. You don't need to hide no parts of yourself just because they don't understand it. They don't even understand who they are. You over
That's
here
a
worried
fact.
about that. They trying to figure out who they are, and you worried about what they gonna say about the version of you that you being. Don't worry about them. They trying to figure it out for themselves.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. I don't got nothing else to say. I don't even
Yeah.
want to think of nothing else.
Then let's end it here, y'all. What we got? In and out. We got we
We
gonna
don't got
look.
nothing.
We don't got nothing. We gonna leave y'all with them gems.
That was
That's the
just so
final thought.
powerful, man. That
That's-
right there was so powerful. How you explained it, because I was waiting to see, because that question came on my mind. I was like, is everything written, or it's like, and how you explained it is like, yo, we really was put on this work in this earth with multiple versions of ourselves. But it's up to you to choose what you want to do on this run. So take that. I got a lot of reflecting to do after this episode. My God.
Me too. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm just a channel. Okay, y'all.
Yeah.
I am a channel. A lot of times when I'm saying this stuff, it's the first time I'm hearing it too. That's why I laugh sometimes. When I say a joke, I'm laughing because I never heard this shit. I'm hearing it too. It's funny. I didn't create this. That's why I don't use the same joke often.
Yeah.
Because I'm channeling. I don't know what the same my shit. I'm laughing with y'all. We both front row seat. We both front row seat to the Nehemiah weirdness that be popping off. Yeah, man. So look, we appreciate y'all. Look, like the video, like the video, subscribe if you aren't subscribed, comment. Look, y'all, one of the things that I have not been doing is doing what's called a CTA. A CTA stands for call to action. In any business, you got to have a call to action. We have not given y'all that. We're going to start doing that now. The call to action is to make sure that this channel and this show gets in front of more people. The way that we do that is by you subscribing, by you engaging with it. It shows YouTube that this is something important, that people are vibing with it. I see all of your comments. So this is how we start pushing this. And we see we getting more people in here because of all the engagement that y'all doing. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all for that.
That's a fact.
And the Patreon will be up in April. So we got that moving. And other than that, man, we want y'all to have a good day. It's Wednesday, man. We're gonna end on some breath work. Let's go. All right, y'all. It's Wednesday. We're gonna go ahead and go into the rest of the week solid. Be intentional. This is the height of the week, so we really get to kind of take the steering wheel of the ship and steer it the way that we want. And if it's not going the direction you want it to, this is the time to re-steer that mofo into the right direction so you can end the week strong. Deep breath in through the nose. Hold. Release. Hold. In. Hold. Release. Hold. In. Hold. In. Hold. In. Hold. Release.
No more footage.
Ross and Klosh, y'all. We will see y'all tomorrow. Holla.